Some stories begin with love, others with revenge. But this one began with silence. A silence so powerful, it could destroy everything. It was just past midnight in a quiet Seoul alley, the kind of night when even the wind whispers. Secrets. She wasn't supposed to be there. A shortcut after a late shift just 5 minutes out of her way. That's all it was meant to be. But fate, it doesn't follow traffic lights. She heard it before she saw it. The muffled cry. The gun short. The sound of life leaving a body. And then she saw him, a man in black. Face hidden behind a matte mask, one hand holding a pistol. The other, steady, as if untouched by the life he just ended. But it wasn't the blood or the gun that stopped her heart. It was his eyes. Dark. Still dead, yet somehow full of sorrow. For one brief second, he looked at her, and she looked right back. She ran. Of course she did. Her lungs burned, her shoes slipped on the wet concrete. She didn't look back, not until it was too late. He was already there. A gloved hand clamped over her mouth. And then nothing. Darkness swallowed her whole. She awoke in a room far too beautiful to belong to a killer. Candlelight flickered across velvet curtains. Mahogany floors stretched beneath her bare feet. A faint scent of spice and something darker lingered in the air. She was unharmed, untied, but clearly not free. The door creaked, and he walked in. No mask this time, just that same cold stillness. He was breathtaking. Tousled black hair, a sharp jawline, eyes that held galaxies, or maybe graveyards. He stood silently, watching her. Then, with a voice low and emotionless, Tae said, "You weren't supposed to see that." And swallowed, her voice trembling as she asked, "Then why didn't you kill me?" He stared for a long moment, and said nothing. Then he turned and left. He didn't lock her in chains, but the silence he wrapped her in felt heavier than any prison. And walks around the elegant but unfamiliar room. Candlelight flickers across the wooden floor. Her hands trail along the velvet curtains, searching for a crack, a latch, a weakness in the perfect trap. She tries the windows. Sealed. The door locked. No phone. No Wi-Fi. No one answering her shouts. Everything was too clean, too quiet, as if someone had erased all signs of the outside world. She picks up a book from a side table. It's in Italian. She tosses it aside in frustration. Then she hears it. A soft sound. Footsteps. Slow. Controlled. She rushes to the door and presses her ear against it. He's there. Just beyond the barrier. She can feel it, his presence. Always watching. Always near. She doesn't know his name. He never tells her why she's here. He doesn't shout. He doesn't threaten. He simply exists like a shadow, too quiet to trust, too calm to run from. Later that night, she stands at the window, staring at the moon. And she speaks, not to him, not to herself, but to the silence. And softly. "Why didn't you kill me that night?" A dark hallway outside. Tae stands leaning against the wall, eyes closed. He heard her. He wouldn't answer out loud, but her question echoed in his mind, louder than any gunshot he'd ever fired. In the underworld, silence is a safety, but it also leaves cracks wide enough for danger to slip through. Midnight. Hwan curled up in a chair, blanket around her shoulders. Rain falls harder now. Lightning flashes. She hears something. Not thunder. Glass. Cracking. Shifting. Suddenly, the window behind her explodes inward. Shards fly across the floor. She screams and dives behind a chair. A masked man climbs in. Tall. Armed. Breathing hard. She wasn't just a witness anymore. She was a target. He spots her. Lifts his gun. Aims. But before the shot can fire, a blur slams into the intruder. Him, the silent one. Him, the silent one. Drenched from the rain. Wild-eyed. Shirt bloodstained from another fight. He tackles the attacker with raw precision. They fight. Punches, grunts, a knife glinting in the light. He's a phantom in motion, swift, brutal, exact. Blood splatters against the white wall. The attacker falls unconscious. The silence returns. She peeks from behind the chair, trembling. And then he walks toward her. His knuckles are bleeding. His shirt ripped. His breath uneven. But his voice? Still calm. Tae kneeling beside her, don't move. He checks her arms, her legs, her face, scanning for blood. Bruises.
Panic.
His hand touches her chin, lifting her face just slightly. Tae, gently, did he touch you? She shakes her head. Their eyes meet. And for the first time, she sees it, not the killer, not the silence, but a man haunted, furious, terrified, not for himself. For her, he didn't say it, but in that moment, she knew. She wasn't just another witness. She was his weakness. He saved her, but said nothing, left her untouched, but watched her with eyes that trembled behind their stillness. Dim golden candlelight flickers across the girl's face. She's seated on the edge of the bed, wrapped in a blanket, legs pulled to her chest. The storm has passed outside, but something still rages inside her. She hasn't moved in hours. Not since the man bled to protect her. Not since he disappeared again, like a ghost fleeing the light. Then the door creaks.
Tae enters.
Slower than usual. Less shadow, more man. He walks in silently, holding a silver tray, food, tea, and a soft cloth folded perfectly. He places it gently on the side table without a word. Y/N looks up. Their eyes meet. The tension is so quiet it hums. Y/N soft, shaky voice. Why are you helping me? A beat of silence. He stands still for a moment, unreadable. Then, slowly, he turns to face her. Tae, quiet, almost whispered, because once I didn't. He walks forward. One step, then another. She doesn't move, doesn't flinch. Not out of trust, but because something in his eyes hurts. He kneels before her, gently, respectfully, not as a captor, not as a killer, but as something else entirely. His hand rises, not fast, not invasive. Fingertips touch her cheek, just the corner where a tear had dried. His thumb lingers there.
Warm.
Real. Human. For the first time, his eyes look vulnerable, like he's trying to remember what it means to be gentle. That touch wasn't rough. It wasn't control. It wasn't force. It was a question. And somehow,
I didn't want it to end.
He pulls his hand away, like it burned him.
He stands.
But just before he turns, he speaks, his voice low and steady, but something inside it cracking. Tae, I won't let them hurt you. But you can't leave yet. It's not safe, and neither am I. Then, without waiting for a response, he leaves, the door closing with a soft click. She had come face to face with death, and now she was being touched by it, like a ghost learning how to feel again. He took her instead of killing her, but the most dangerous thing he'd ever done was touch her without armor. She thought that was the end of their conversation. But sometimes people say more with what they hide than with what they reveal. Y/N sits on the floor, back against the bed. The food he brought is untouched. Her fingers nervously tug at the blanket around her. She can't sleep. Not after the way he looked at her. Not after the way his thumb brushed away a tear that didn't belong to him, yet he carried it like it did. Then she hears something. Faint, far away, a single note.
Piano. Soft.
Hesitant, like someone testing if he still remembers how to feel. She rises slowly, barefoot on the polished floor. The hallway is dim, golden light spilling through.
Cracks.
She follows the sound. It leads her to a door. Not locked. Slightly open. She peeks in. The room is shadowed. Floor-to-ceiling windows reveal the rainy night. And at the center of it all, a piano. Black. Glossy. Lonely. He sits at it. Back straight. Shoulders tense. Hands gentle. Playing, not perfectly. Not for anyone. Just playing. She saw him there. The man without a name. The killer who saved her. the silence that spoke through melody. He doesn't see her watching. Or maybe he does, but he doesn't stop.
The music is raw.
Unfinished. Like a lullaby he never got to complete. Her eyes soften, her fear doesn't vanish. But it shifts. This man, he didn't know how to comfort her, but he knew how to bleed through music. And for the first time, she doesn't feel like a prisoner. She feels like someone who just stepped into a tragedy already in motion. He didn't tell me anything, not his name, not his story, not what he was going to do with me. But that night, I heard his soul, Diane, every note, every pause. It was crying for something or someone. Some say you can learn everything from a person's eyes, but his lied beautifully. It was his silence that told the truth. Morning sun creeps through tall windows. The rain has stopped. Steam rises from untouched.
Tea.
The room is still. She wakes up on the couch, same place, same blanket. The sound of piano is gone, but its echo lingers in her chest. Her eyes scan the room for him. She's not sure why. Maybe to thank him, maybe to scream, maybe just to look again. But he's not there. He saved me last night. But I didn't know from what, or why his hands trembled after he touched me. She walks slowly toward the hallway. The mansion is massive, every corner echoing with wealth and emptiness and silence. So much silence until a grand library, books everywhere, a fireplace unlit. She steps inside, eyes wide, feeling like she shouldn't be there. Then she hears his voice, for only the second time. Tae from behind, "You're not supposed to be out of your room."
Y barra diagonal N terms.
He's leaning against a bookshelf, dressed in black, arms crossed. The sunlight cuts across his face like a spotlight, cold, distant. Y/N defiant, then why didn't you lock it? He doesn't answer right away. Instead, he walks past her and picks up a book.
Tae, Fletley.
If they find out you're alive, they'll finish what they started. Y/N, who's they? And what did I see that's worth killing me over? He looks up, their eyes meet. For the first time, she sees a flicker of hesitation, of fear, of memory. But just as quickly it's gone. He low, guarded, "You saw me, and that's enough." Y/N sneaks into a side room later. His jacket is left on a chair. She gently touches it. Under it a photo falls. A little girl, smiling, dead eyes like his. She looked like him. She looked like someone he failed. She puts the photo back, heart pounding. There was pain in his silence, and guilt in his touch. That evening, the house is too quiet again. She finds him in the same room, this time not at the piano, but near the fireplace. She walks in, slowly, deliberately. Y/N softly, "You lost someone, didn't you?" He looks up, eyes frozen. But inside, a storm. Tae gritted teeth. "Don't ask questions you don't want the answers to." Y/N calm, "Then tell me why I'm still alive." He stands, not violently, not angrily, just conflicted. "Tae, because I didn't kill you when I should've. And now I can't."
A pause.
Y/N, barely a whisper, "Why not?" He steps closer, one slow step. His voice lowers, as if he's afraid of the truth leaving his lips. "Tae, because when I touched your face, I didn't feel like a monster." He was supposed to kill her, but something about her made him remember the pieces of himself he buried long ago. And that terrified him more than any gun ever could. He turns away, breathing hard. She stands still, stunned. Suddenly, loud knocking echoes from the main entrance. 3 sharp pounds. He stiffens. "Tae, coldly go to your room. Now." Y/N, "Who is it?" Tae firm, "Someone who cannot know you're here."
He walks out.
She lingers by the doorway. That day, I learned his silence wasn't just protection. It was a shield, and now it was cracking. Door opens downstairs. A tall man in a white suit walks in, charming smile, but dead eyes. Whoever he was, He wasn't here for peace.